I'm gonna show a really cool play that you can do with Dizzy on the doors here. You want to make Dizzy go through the door. And here's what it looks like. If you send her down and she goes up, she goes through the door if they are activated. Compared to doing something like this, you know, let's say that no enemies here and you don't want to push. With this one, you can pick Dizzy back up. With the other one, you can't. You don't want to try it on this side either because the door is going to leave, right? So it won't go through the door and it will instead be either leaving or not see past the door. So that's why we tried this one. It's a really sneaky and annoying flash. If you have enemies taking over this door, what you can do is you have a mosh pit, aim roughly like this, move forward, send it out. There's no specific lineup. You just want to bounce it on that spot there while you're roughly here. And you want to keep the momentum so that it travels a bit longer and reaches this area. If possible, aim it over here so that you cover that area and you force them into your line of sight here. They might take some damage. Keep in mind that they might be on the corner here. So if they're not close, you could you combine that with a Dizzy as well and just really roll them. If you want to scout enemies coming up to A from A site, for example here, there, maybe here, but in general, like early on, you want to get info over here. Best thing you can do, or among the best things you can do, is just stand here, aim straight up, jump, and Dizzy is going to be able to see enemies over there, over here. They don't, you know, Dizzy won't see enemies over there, of course, but if you do this early on, they don't have enough time to run unless they use a dash or TP like Omen. So, yeah, you can catch some people pushing up here. Pretty nice. You can call out to your teammates. Oh, they're coming A, or people A. And maybe not peek, but you could peek if you want with this Dizzy. Up to you. When you're retaking site and you want to scout enemies here, this area, as well as this area, and down here, without using a molly or anything, or Wingman, you can use Dizzy and just jump and send her out like this. And she will come back into safety. You can take her back. So if enemies are not on site, or maybe enemies are on site, you'll see them. So when Dizzy is sent out like that, jumps out, she scouts here, she scouts there, right? And on the way back, she scouts for you here. That is a really, really good tool when you're retaking. That is so good because you don't have to spend time just looking here. Enemies could still be close like that, you know? They could be here. They could be behind the box there. But at least you eliminate a lot of other areas and make it a lot more easier to go back in on A. If you're playing A and you want to deny the plant, usually planted here or there, or even here on the corner, what you do is send out molly like this. It will land here. Perfect. Super easy. No, it doesn't take much to line up anything. You just move up here, bounce it like that general direction. As long as it bounces on the wall, you're gonna get a good molly. Nice. Let's say that you're playing from B, you're here, you've shot the doors, and you want to scout if there's enemies here, or you hear steps of enemies and you want to pick them and fight them. For example, you can flash people there with Dizzy, and what you do is, you just crouch, take this out, aim in the corner, and she's back. And now you take her out, pick her back up, and if enemies are here, when you're flashing, bam, 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 yeah, you just kill them. And if there's nobody there, you take her back and you can do it in 10 seconds again. I like this one a lot because it comes back. It's a great scouting tool. If enemies shoot it, I mean, then obviously this is out in the open, but that's what the flash is for. That's what, you know, using the utility to peek with is good for because they move the crosshair. So just be mindful of that so that you don't wait too much and then wake up like, oh, wait, I should have gone out, and then you get killed because you went out too late. If enemies are coming into plant over there, or here, or here, you expect them to plant somewhere like this, right? All you have to do is send out the molly like this, and it covers. Like that. And you don't need a perfect lineup or anything, you just do it real quick. You know, enemies coming in like this, you check this area, fast, back up with the gun, and you fight. A very neat flash I found is that when you just position here, just random position, doesn't have to be perfect. You aim her like this, and you send Dizzy out, and she comes back in the cover. This makes it so that enemies who are, oh, no, not there, but here, they will get flashed. And it's a bit annoying to deal with this flash as well, because it goes sideways and it stops on the corner. So it doesn't go all the way in or anything, just sideways and then back through cover, behind cover. And enemies have very little time to shoot it. And you can just use it like this. Oh, this one. And shoot them. And if nobody's there, she's back. And you don't have to take her back out here, for example, like if you would flash something like, you know, so she lands like this. This is very risky because of enemies there, and potentially enemies there. Which Dizzy also scouts when she's going back. She still scouts that. When you're playing a 4C and you have a teammate with you on C, your teammate, they might be here, might be a Reyna main who wants a lot of kills. They want all the kills. They're crazy. And they're crazy for frags. So double crazy. What you can do to give them more kills is you just look up like this. And when you hear steps on the sand, not your Reyna hearing steps, you hear steps. Well, Reyna can hear as well, but you're closer than Reyna. You jump, send this out. And this goes like this. You could also use it early on, but keep in mind that there's a mound here so that Reyna won't be able to see enemies on the other side unless she's on the sides, right? But anyways,
right there.
44 meters,
Right there.
45 meters. This is how far Dizzy will be able to flash. When retaking a C site and you come from spawn, you look at the enemies like this, you clear this area, just not too far. Pull out your mosh pit, use it like that. Out with Dizzy, out there. And that's how you can retake site and just fight. Dizzy, coming from here. She's gonna fly over like this. Zim, 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 zim. Catches enemies there. Here, 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 here. Literally everywhere. Maybe not there though. And not behind the pillar. But that's why we molly here, for example. So you send out the molly. From here.
Mosh pit.
Doesn't have to be perfect. But you just want to make the move from this corner. So that it's safe when you're pushing in. And let's say that there's no enemies here. You just have to look straight forward when you're pushing in. Alright, it's time to attack with Gekko. And one of the best things you can do with Gekko and the Dizzy is to scout for information before you move out. Because of the distance to this corner here and also sending out Dizzy there, you want to avoid having awkward angles when you pick Dizzy up after scouting for info. So for example, sending Dizzy out like this, while it could give you some very, very good info, for example, scouting there, there, etc. Picking her back up here is very, very risky versus enemies that are, especially enemies that are aggressive, because as you've seen in the lock-in event, a lot of aggressive teams, they like to take this area because of the orb, but also because you have very good natural cover. Like this corner here, you have a teammate that can be there and one there. And a lot of easy trades to do. So what we can do instead, to also scout here, for example, 44 meters, Dizzy has to be passing this area, is to send Dizzy out like this.
Dizzy's up.
And then she scouts behind this corner too, which also leaves us with Dizzy. Once you've landed here with Dizzy, and you want to push doors, you gotta wait 10 seconds for the Dizzy to come off cooldown. But if we open doors, we want to be able to clear efficiently. And what we could do is use Dizzy, for example, on the right side, clear left side, and then push in. Or we could use Wingman. We can also use Mosh Pit, but Mosh Pit is not ideal because if you use it here, enemies are just gonna step back. And if they're on 3, the door is gonna close by the time you have it explode. So also another thing, if you use Wingman and you bounce him here, for example, he's always gonna land in the open over there. And if you walk in to send him on the right side or something, you're gonna be exposed to this angle. And also if you pick him up, you can't really go for the plant right away. So open door, Dizzy out like that. And now you're in. Now you're in. Pick this back up.
My buddy.
And from this area, you can work however you want. Once you're here with Dizzy, well, use Dizzy and getting in, you pick her back up and then you go for the plant. You can go for plant here. This is probably the most safest and best one. And you can also go there for like a one-time thing. And keep in mind there's probably enemies in the back that you can molly like this. But even then, even if you clear in the back here, I, for example, like to play up here sometimes to wait out mollies, nades, whatever, and then I drop down silently and I fight enemies. So that's why this one is probably even more difficult, because you have to walk in and help Wingman plant. And if you're here, you might as well, you know, take that position. I feel like this one is much more safer, easier to use, and you don't commit to dangerous positions as much. If you're coming from here and you have no teammates with you in tree or anything, don't worry. You Dizzy up like this, you know, like we did before. Take Dizzy back here. And then you move your way here. Maybe take Orb if you want to. And you try to secure this area if possible. Also make sure, you know, that you are mindful of the door here. Because if you use the door, if the door is open, enemies might be behind you. And in that case, you have to adapt to what's happening in the situation. But let's say that it's not open. And maybe there is no enemies there. If you want to secure the plant, I would suggest to send Dizzy over there somewhere, because if you play this area and you've planted in the corner, it can be difficult to see enemies that are diffusing right on the edge there. Just be mindful of that, because you see the angle closes. So if you go for the plant over here, for example, you have a lot more vision of the enemy if they are tapping it outside of the range, while trying to at max range, I mean. And because it's dangerous to send the Wingman close to this corner, we also want to pair it together with Dizzy. And since Dizzy takes some time to travel, we send Wingman out first, somewhere here, Dizzy right after, and you join. And you fight. And then, yeah, he goes for the plant. You can take Dizzy back up if you want, you know, if it's safe here.
Back to me.
And then fall back. And you play the post plant from this angle. And that's pretty much it. Once you want to use mollies to delay plant or stop enemies planting without showing yourself too much, you just send the molly out like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's very easy. And the same if you're on tree and you've planted on this corner there. You just bounce it like this.
Mosh pit.
And it hits there. Works on the other side as well. Alright, so if you want to break the doors and push B, but you're afraid of enemies being in here, it's super simple to break it. To break enemies here. Maybe not break them. You don't want to snap them like they're twigs, but you want to make them fall back or kill them if you can. And a molly placed there covers the entire room and is super strong. And it forces them back into the stairs if they try to escape. So when the molly is about to expire, that's when you peek, bam, we know exactly where they are. You check if enemies are here, and in case someone didn't take full damage, you look here. But if they are there, they're going to be super low because of the 100 damage. Like this, until you see this one. Aim roughly here.
Mosh pit.
Perfect. And then you move on. You can use a Dizzy up perhaps. And go for plant.
Plant the spike, Wings.
And that's it. If you want to push B from B main, and you have all the abilities, you have a spike on you as well, and there's no smoke here, but you want to go and plant over there, for example. Molly, Wingman over there, and you don't want a Wingman necessarily there because he's going to run longer, but also there, and then Dizzy into this corner so that she flashes this area, she flashes there, and comes back to cover. Here's what it looks like all in one go. Molly, Wingman, Dizzy. Wingman goes to plant, you take Dizzy back, and then you help from this angle. Or you can close this angle and fight there, for example, for this, if they peek, and then here as well. And then you back out. When it's time to push C, we want to be able to scout, and we want to scout enemies holding there, as well as enemies running over. If Omen is teleporting, you won't really see that, So you have to be careful with that, and you can wall bang that, for example, or you can push it. You can deal with him in many ways. But yeah, imagine that shields are up. Take these out, run, jump, send her out. Like that. If you send her out in front of this corner, she's gonna land in an exposed area. If you want her to be safe, you just aim here. And she's gonna see
Right there.
over there, over here,
Right
over
there.
here. And because it's under 45 meters, you're guaranteed to tag enemies if they're peeking out. When it's time to plant on C, we can send Wingman like this. We don't even have to watch the site. We can see him plant through the wall. And I think this is intentional by design. There's two versions of pushing a site. One where you molly here and then you push water. And one where you molly the L pillar, this one, and you walk the ramp. Let's start with the ramp one where you molly this. First, you look here if there's any enemies. No enemies, all right. Run
Saw you,
and send it
Mosh.
out. And it'll look like this. So once you send it out,
Blow 'em up,
if
Mosh.
there's enemies in the back there, you just look like this. You just look, are they walking out? Are they walking out? No. If nobody's walking out, you don't have to worry about anything really. Nobody's there. But also keep in mind, if you're looking here, you're missing out that area if they're hugging the wall. So you could have teammates, or you can just go like this. You set up the wingman, like that,
Wingman's planting. Let's go.
and you flash. And this will flash water as well, here and here. This is the area you go and check.
Spike sticking. Thanks, little man.
And then you can take a position here if you want. Or you can run back and take back Dizzy, because
I got
Dizzy
you, I
is
got
in a
you.
safe position. And the reason you don't go ramp first is because if you want to hold water, you expose yourself to this angle. And this is very dangerous, extremely dangerous, especially with enemies that are playing this pillar. Because they will just shoot Dizzy from above while planting, and you will not have vision on them. The next version is when we molly the L pillar, and then we flash just like we did before, same plant, but we go ramp. And this flash is meant to be flashing over there mainly. And you will automatically flash water as well. But keep in mind that water has enemies that might come in, and you gotta rely on teammates a bit more as well. Unless you have godly frag skills, I would recommend going for that one. But yeah, here's what it looks like. You go for the molly,
Mosh pit.
wingman,
Spike wings. Dizzy's up top.
and if you want to, you can also be faster on
Spike
the
planted. Thanks, wings.
what's it called, the flash.
Get him, wingman.
Run,
Fire away.
jump, send out the flash, and she goes deeper. And then you push that based on where information is. If wingman dies here, that is fine. You just trade, get a kill, plant. You can plant here as well as a backup plant because you're protected here. And if wingman is not, if you never feel safe with wingman going here, and you just want to take over the space, and then go for the plant there, that is totally viable too. It's very good. And after the plant, again, you can play there. If you plant on this position, you always want to be in the back here, because then you can just look at enemies and shoot them as they defuse. Thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button and also the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.